If you've been thinking about a portfolio checkup, but would like to know more about what is included in these sessions, that's reasonable. Just ask for our checkup checklist. It shows you what Steve covers in the checkup and what documents are useful to gather up. Just call 888-99-CHART. That's 888-992-4278. Or if you're there at the computer, just go to investtalk.com and click on Contact Us, and then just tell us that you want the checklist. We'll send it to you by email. Or if you'd like a copy of Steve's special report called Supercharging Your Portfolio, call the same number. That's 888-99-CHART. And thanks for listening to our podcast. Welcome to Invest Talk, 1 hour about funding your retirement. The long and short of the new Chrysler. If you're starting all over again today in the stock market, where do you begin? What will be the market's next big move? What's your question on this Friday afternoon? Stay with us and participate. Join in the discussion. This is Invest Talk, dedicated to the idea that you can do better than the average investor. And now here's your host, Portfolio Manager Steve Peasley.
Good afternoon, everybody, and this is the Friday edition, May 1st. As you know, May 1st, Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. And I want to welcome radio listeners, podcasters, and, of course, everybody listening to us on InvestTalk.com. Appreciate it. You know, I sincerely do appreciate it, and I also appreciate all the calls that you make. So don't hesitate to call. Time is to dial up. We're ready to take your call. 888-99-CHART is the number. Now, when looking toward the future, building new businesses from new technologies, green, clean energy stuff, well, what do we see happening out there? What seems to offer the most promise when it comes to green business, viable green business? Well, government policy has always played a part to get a new technology going. They always have. Think about the internet. The internet was kickstarted by defense dollars way back in the 1950s when people at MIT and other think tank type colleges wanted to communicate send the data across large distances. How could they do it? Well, they invented the internet to do that. Not by our ex-vice president. He didn't invent that like he thinks he did. That's not what happened. Anyways, we've done it with railroads. The government provided land, the right-of-ways for the railroads. Telegraph lines, the government provided that. Well, what about the green energy sector? Most time when you have a very new technology, you want to expand it, you have to have innovation in financing it, okay, somehow. And that's what we're seeing beginning to happen in green energy, like solar panels and stuff. No one wants to pay the cost up front. I mean, where are you going to get that traditional money? People don't have the money. They're not going to borrow the money. Banks don't want to lend the money. So you got to be innovative. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Do we see signs you have creative breakthroughs on clean energy and how it's paid for? Very interesting stuff going on. So we're going to take a look at that, closer look at it anyways. This is an article published by Slate.com, Daniel Gross. He wrote the article called The Real Green Innovation. It's about money on the green energy. It's all about why alternative energy depends more on financial wizardry than mechanical wizardry. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If we don't have callers, I will go to that subject and we'll discuss it. So let's get to work. We'd love the callers, so you can call right now, 888-99-CHART. Get lined up, 888-992-4278. Lines are now open. The market struggled today. It struggled all day long. It was mostly in the negative, I thought, for most of the day, but interesting, last 3 minutes on the Dow shot up. Was flat for the day. Ended up being over 40 points by the because of the last 3 minutes of the trading day on a Friday. That's kind of unusual. Usually it sells off on the last few minutes or last hour on a Friday. Not today. Didn't decide to do that. You know, everybody's wondering if the market, the rally that we've had, is it getting tired? Well, I see the rally. If you look at a chart, now I'll send a chart of the index, of the Dow, to investtalk.com. If you look at a chart, you can see the rally has slowed way down, but it has not stopped. It slowed way down. I mean, the last month it's just struggled, but did move up. Slowly but surely move up. This is a consolidation period, it looks like to me. It's consolidating. Now, after a consolidation period, it's either going to break up or break down. That breakdown will probably be just a sell-off of some of the big gains. A break up means it's going to go up to, on a Dow, probably to 9,000. That's where it's probably heading toward, that area, before it hits more of a resistance area, about 9,000. After it breaks through that 9,000, gosh, it might go to 11. Okay, there's not a lot of resistance. Well, about 9,500 or so. There's some 9,500, 9,600, somewhere in there. But it's just tough. It looks like it's going to go to 11 if it breaks through. And you know what? I'm thinking it's going there. It's going there this year. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm pretty convinced that that's where we're headed. So the market did pretty good at the end of the day. Very, very nice welcome. There were bad news on auto sales out. But there was good news on the ISM report, Institute of Supply Management. Now, a reading below 50% means that we are still shrinking in our factory sector, and a reading came in below 50% is actually we're quite low in the 40-something, 41, 42. But it's much better than it was the month before, which was better than the month before that and better than from the month before that. So we've had like 3 or 4 months where the ISM report has gotten stronger, but still below the 50 line, therefore still very weak. We still are in a very weak economy. Don't think there's strength. It's just improving. Remember, it was totally destroyed, flat on its back. Nothing was happening. And now it's on its knees. Let's put it that way. So it's gone off its back. The economy's gone off its back. Is now on its knees. Well, when it gets on its feet, that means we're at least, might be wobbly, but we'll be on our feet. Until it starts moving forward, we start moving forward, we won't have any growth. When will that happen? Everybody will love the answer to that. Personally, I have been saying, and I still think, probably by the last quarter of this year, or maybe the first quarter of next year, we'll finally see positive GDP growth. But even in the last quarter of this year, we don't get that report till the first quarter, till January of next year. You cannot invest in the stock market like that. You have to anticipate because everybody else does. So where is the growth going to come from looking forward is what your job is. Where do I invest my money now? I know it's scary. I know you're scared to death. The money is, right now, invested money is frightened money. Everybody's still very scared. But also, everybody knows there's opportunity. So every time the market gets a little bit weak, there's buyers coming in. They think they missed it, so they keep pushing money in. There's still trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines. Who knows where that's going to go? I don't know. Some of it's going to come to the market. It certainly isn't going to sit there that long with interest rates so low, with the Fed fund rate so darn low. So something's going to happen. I can tell you that. Something is going to happen. So 888-99-CHART is our number, 888-99.